Are you ready?
Hold on a second, man.
No, let's just wing it.
Oh, just hold on, man.
I'm hitting record.
Look, I got like one more thing.
I'm pressing it right now.
Can I eat my rest of my salad?
It's already hit. Just start talking.
Lucas, just hold on.
Nope, it's already done.
Shit on you, man. Okay.
Just say this is the LR podcast.
Why would I just say this is the OL podcast?
Just say it.
I don't want to say it.
Nope, that's it.
This is the OL. That's it. No, I don't like it.
Just say it. Just say this is the LR podcast.
Can I eat my salad?
No, just
write one more thing down for our interview.
Just say it.
This is the One Lane Road podcast. Where are we starting from? This is the top of the show?
This is the top of the show right here.
So you're officially recording.
I'm officially recording now. All this other stuff that we did is still on there, but we're keep going.
Every week he does this to me. I have to set up. I have to prep for this stuff. You know, I've got questions to ask. I've got material. I've got Facebook to look at. I've got Twitter. I've got Instagram. I've got Snapchat.
Eat your salad. Got to eat your drink, your Rockstar. You got to make your notes.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to eat healthier. I went to the gym the last 2 mornings at 4:30, 5 o'clock. But salad, you know what sucks? Salad sucks a little bit, so I had to drink it down with a little
Rockstar.
A little, 500 grams of sugar.
Yeah, let me see this thing.
30 grams.
Of sugar.
Just sugar.
Yeah.
I didn't drink any Cokes today, so.
Yeah. We got 260 calories in it.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. 30 grams of carbohydrates.
That's a kid. But if I, just eat like sausage and eggs tomorrow and beef jerky.
Only.
Yeah.
Only, yeah. I would be more worried about this niacinamide.
In my world, I don't even know what in the hell a niacinamide is.
Alsulfame potassium.
Sound it out for me.
Hydrochloride. Right there. Pyridoxine hydrochloride. That's the shit that'll kill you right there. Cyanocobalamin.
Shut up.
So
it tastes good. It's all right.
You're dead as shit.
One energy drink's not gonna, I don't think, hurt me too bad.
One.
I just have one a week.
Oh, on Wednesday you just have one.
Just to get a little extra personality. Then I'm up at 11 o'clock at night geeking out because it don't hit me until after we leave.
Until you get to the house.
I think I'm tired, so it takes like 2 hours to kick in. By the time I'm driving home, I'm singing at the top of my lungs. Here I go again.
On my own.
Stop.
Not that one. Mm-mm. Hey, you know what I heard this week? I heard somebody sing Thunder Rolls, Garth Brooks' Thunder Rolls, like a heavy metal band do Thunder Rolls by Garth Brooks. Wasn't bad. Wasn't good. Wasn't bad.
It was kind of like the original then.
Yeah. Hey, what's your mouth?
Garth Brooks.
I love that guy. He's the original guy. Original country music singer.
Not really. He was like from 1989 to 1992.
Maybe 1990. 89 to 90.
He peaked pretty hard in those first 3 albums.
He had like 3 great albums, which I bought multiple times. I had the cassettes,
tapes.
And then I had to get the CDs. And then my wife bought me the greatest hits. So I got them again. I listened to a lot of Garth Brooks.
Huh.
I've got the DVD of his live performance at the Wynn Theater. That's why I keep referencing that. I've made that that's about the 6th time I've referenced that because I've watched it multiple times.
I'd like to see you in one of those Texas Western shirts with Wranglers pulled up to your underboob.
Well, you see it every week, which literally I've got on Wranglers, and I have one of those Western cut pearl snap button-up shirts on every day. And my sister pointed out to me. My sister pointed out to me after you posted those pictures from the last show that she said, "Hey, why don't you take that jacket off that you wear every time that you're..."
That'd be so great.
that y'all have a podcast. So, lo and behold, I'm out of my jacket now.
But you still got your work shirt on.
I've still got a work shirt on. I didn't want to change before I got here. I ain't been here that long.
I completely changed before I got here because nobody's going to see us, and I still changed.
Yeah, nobody. I was down here in sandals one day. You was the only person that seen it. Did make fun of me, but
I did or didn't?
You did.
Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Well, I don't know why you wouldn't.
That's my job. Here is the color commentator.
Right.
You're the play-by-play analyst on this show, and I'm the color commentary, I feel. That's how it would work if we were calling a basketball game.
I would say if I knew anything about, technically enough about any kind of sport to do that, we could do that.
But you can do that on podcast. I
can podcast it.
Lindsay asked me why I'll come home from work and just had a pair of shorts on and a t-shirt, and I said, "Is my jeans clean? This is my lighter pair of jeans. Why are you getting changed just to go to Lucas's?" I said, "Because my girlfriend's going to be there. Back off."
All those escorts that are downstairs whenever I get there.
Eventually, it's going to happen. Eventually, we're going to have some escorts down here.
My dog apparently really, really wants to play softball. I don't even know where this softball came from, but she is throwing it against the wall.
Hey, so this is going to be hopefully a
good show.
Well, it is going to be a good show. We're going to be joined. We've ran it for 5 minutes and not even talked about who we're going to have. We're going to have Bernard Pollard, of course, former NFL superstar, and doing his own thing now with My Pro Scout, which we'll get into. And he's got into it before on the show. We're just kind of we're just catching up with Bernard tonight and seeing how everything's going with that, and just kind of we're right here on the eve of NFL season. Actually, the first preseason game, if you want to count that nonsense that got played last Thursday with all the third stringers. So NFL season's underway. So we're going to be talking. Hopefully, he's got some time for us. We'll give him some crap about why he's put us off for a little bit tonight.
Real interesting why big, tough NFL football player, why he's
making us wait
a little bit.
Yeah,
we'll get into that.
But after his other episodes, you shouldn't be surprised on what he's watching. But
yeah.
But anyway, it's always good to hear from Bernard. Always nice for him to take time to join us here, and he's one of my favorites we've ever had on the show. But now coming up, you told me the other day, and this is not going to be a big number for a lot of people, but you told me the other day we're approaching 20,000 downloads for our
approaching 20,000 downloads for the old podcast.
It's not bad. It's not a bad number. You hear a lot of people hitting big numbers, but let me give you a backdrop on those guys that are hitting big numbers. They're famous.
Yeah, before they started their podcast.
That's right. So what you're starting, you might as well now. You get the T-shirt. We sold you the koozies. Buy the lunchbox. Buy the trucker hat.
Yeah, we're probably going to partner with Yeti here for too much longer.
Pretty much. Go
ahead and
partnered up with Yeti,
and go ahead and get some stickers on the back of these jacked up diesel trucks driving around.
Yep.
And probably just going to go the way of we're going to get an Uncle Si to come in. Have that guy. Go the Duck Dynasty route.
Are we?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I hate Duck Dynasty.
Yeah, we're probably going to go that way. I hate you, so that's why we're going to. So that's why we're going to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
And then I'm thinking probably after that, Orange County Choppers.
So we're like, was this 2001?
Yeah, we're gonna go back to 2001. We're gonna buy a big shop and then close it down shortly afterward.
No, I think it's awesome. When you round about, we know we've done a lot of episodes, but that's just when the iTunes and Stitcher downloads. It's not a bad thing to look at. I mean, if you round it out, maybe it's not as big a number as you would think, but I don't know. I'm pretty proud of 20,000. That's something I don't know that we would have thought we'd hit.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought so a year and some change ago.
I tell you what sucks. And if anybody's ever judging our show, don't go look at YouTube. Do not go look at the YouTube numbers, because literally.
And if somebody says, "Hey, have you listened to that on YouTube?" Just say, "No, I downloaded it on iTunes because that's where they get most of their downloads."
Exactly, and I hate when I'm trying to get a musician or something on there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, what's your reach?" I'm like, "Oh, well, where are you available?"
Look on YouTube.
And then they look on YouTube and they're like, "Oh, 17 views." I think I'll pass.
I'll be right on there.
But when we get almost
700-800 downloads
in a week
on the other one.
Yeah, and congratulations, Jeremy Mack. You've blew it out of the park last week. Apparently somebody wanted to hear what you wanted to say. I mean,
a lot of people did.
We didn't really care what you said. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, obviously. Mackie, always an awesome guest, man. And but yeah, his numbers were big time for us this past week. Interesting interview with him, and Mackie doesn't have a really big filter on him, so I think everybody knew that was what's coming up.
Yeah. And we also got an interesting thing coming up where you posted, what's my gripe?
Yeah, here's my gripe.
Yeah. And I liked where Josh Smith posted Peter Griffin going, you know what grinds my gears from that old Family Guy. So that's pretty good.
Josh listens, I guess. We always kind of wonder who listens to the show, and because you don't know, you see all the downloads. You're like, man, I wished I knew who listened, other than the 5 to 10 people that comment.
Yeah,
we get the same hardcore fan base that'll comment on Twitter and Facebook. I really wanted to get our Facebook up and moving. People just don't comment on our Facebook page as much as they do our Twitter, or if I post it from a personal page. That's something I really would like to work on. If anybody listen, let's start playing with that Facebook page just a little bit more. But Josh put it out there the other day. He was looking for more podcasts to listen to, and he said, "Don't worry, Dustin and Lucas, you're already on my playlist."
That's right.
And you know what? Also, he said, I posted that selfie of me, you and Mackie, and I said, just a selfie of 3 how was it said?
Heterosexual males.
Yeah, I put 3 completely heterosexual men. He goes, I think you're being a little kind with the completely. I said, man, you know what? You're right. I've always been worried about those other 2 myself.
All right.
Then Anna Smith out here, she talked about listening to our show, and I had no idea that she would listen. So,
well, good.
You just never know who's out there listening.
Don't know who's listening. So, do you want to jump into the Bernard interview first?
Yeah, Bernard's one of our favorite guests we've ever had on the show. He's always a good time, good interview. So, let's go ahead and give him a call. Bernard.
What up, baby?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm chilling. I just got done. Just put the kids down, just prayed and stuff with them, man. So I'm sitting here. Now I was trying to find that football game. I can't find it, and then working on some kids' profiles.
Yeah, man. I was trying to give you the proper intro that you deserve. High school football evaluator, Super Bowl champion, reality television junkie, Bernard Pollard. You're killing me, man.
Dude, hey, I just watched Big. You know what?
How was The Bachelor?
Mom and Big Brother. No, bro, I don't do that, dog. Don't label me as don't not The Bachelor, bro.
No. So just Big Brother. Yeah. So how? I never watched Big Brother. So what is it about Big Brother that get y'all's attention?
Dude, Big Brother is fantastic. It's like more professional real world. So, but you can't leave the house. So
okay.
They make this warehouse into like a living space where it's nice, but it's only 1 bathroom and 2 showers. And then you compete to get head of household. So if you get head of household, you got 1 bedroom upstairs where you have, you get a letter from home. You get like your favorite snacks. You have your own bed, and you have your own shower and your own toilet. And so you get to be the head of household for a week, but then you have to put people up for eviction. You have to put 2 nominees up for eviction to get them out of the house. So you create alliances, and it's like you got to talk game, the whole time. It's actually really neat.
Hey, it's like what 19th season now, so it's obviously hitting with some people.
Yeah, BB19. Yeah.
BB19. You seem like you'd be a good candidate for to go on the show.
Yeah, I know. My bad. Yeah, I got it. I guess I got excited about talking to her. I just gave you the initials for the show.
You give us the hashtags. What you give us right there.
The hashtag.
You need to go ahead and put in your application to be on BB20.
I do need to do it.
Yeah, you got that.
I would watch that. That's going on my DVR every week.
That's the only time I'm watching Big Brothers, when you're on it.
Well, cool, man. I definitely, I might have to do that. My wife keeps telling me to do it.
Yeah.
So have you quit Teen Mom? It's been a few years since I talked to you last about this. Well, we mentioned on your first episode here, but so have you quit it? Are you over Teen Mom?
No, bro. It's already DVR. I still have to catch up we missed it on Monday, so we're going to catch up on all that stuff.
Damn, man. My wife has even quit it, and you're still on it.
Dude, tell her. Dude, is she sick? Tell her, don't do that to me.
You know what she's got me on, don't you?
Bro, she probably, I don't know. It's too many shows out here, so I don't even know what to get.
That's why I can't give you too much crap about Big Brother, man, because she'll be having us watching Lifetime movies, but
that's pretty bad.
He's got Candace Cameron just plastered everywhere. She's the only person in Lifetime.
Nah, see, Lucas watched one Lifetime movie ever, and it was DJ from Full House. It was in it, so he thinks every movie has got DJ in it just because that one did. You know what I'm saying? I've never actually seen her in a Lifetime movie, but my wife is one of those type that I'll be watching PTI or something. I'll have some sports shows on my DVR. She'll say, I'm going to fall asleep. Why don't you just go ahead and let me watch what I want to watch? I said, all right, cool, go ahead. So she'll turn on Lifetime. Within 5 minutes, she's snoring, and I'm on the edge of the bed thinking, oh, my God, are they going to get away with this murder right here?
That's how it always has.
And I'm up to 11 o'clock trying to figure out, the storyline, and it's always like really riveting television. The first hour and 28 minutes, then like they get the murderer with like one gunshot in the last 2 minutes. So it's so anticlimactic. The last 2 minutes of every Lifetime movie.
Right, yeah, it's crazy, brother. I can't. All I can do is say right and give you like my sympathy right. I have no idea what happened.
I hear you. That's what you should be. That's your homework for this weekend. Just watch one Lifetime movie. Just feel for me right here. All right. Anyway, man, what's the latest, man? What's up with my Pro Scout? How's that going?
Dude, we are grinding, bro. It's doing really well. Get the kids signed up. Obviously, we got a lot of kids that they're waiting to get some games and stuff going before they start uploading more film for their evaluations. So I'm just excited about the direction we're going. One of the hardest things, and it's still kind of one of those uphill battles, is explaining to the parents how we actually can assist their student athlete. And I mean, it doesn't even matter if the kid got 60 offers or the kid doesn't have an offer. These guys got to understand they are big fish in a small pond, and there are things that they get away with at the high school level, and they look so good because they're the best talented, as far as talent-wise, they're the best. Now, we want to help them. Some kids become a better high school player and potentially get that scholarship or that preferred walk-on or that partial scholarship. Or we want to be able to, or take the kids that already have the scholarships and let them know, okay, this is what you need to be working on in the off season, so that you can become a better player. Because more players fail because, they realize, okay, hold on, my talent was really good at high school, but I just ran into a brick wall at the next level.
Right.
And some guys, they crawl under a rock, because as far as talent-wise, they aren't the best anymore. So they actually, they don't know how to work. And these trainers that have stolen money, or these other websites, or these recruiting websites, or these people that talk about them, they're nowhere to be found when it's time for them to work on and the grind with the hard stuff. So it's crazy.
Well, I'm sure a lot of these kids are coming from, getting the pats on the back from everybody, and they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Nobody wants to give them those criticisms, and you're seeing all the positives in these highlight tapes, right? That's why they're called the highlights. They're showing the best. So it's really critical for guys like you that's played the game, at the highest level, to come in and give a fair criticism to bring these guys back down to reality a little bit. What's coming at the next level?
Wait, that's the and that's the crazy part. As we tell parents, like, don't take the word criticism and think it's all bad, because if your kid if they have it, and we as athletes, we understand, and you're going to get criticized at some point. The parents have been criticized at work. If in a sports world, you're going to be criticized by the media, you're going to be criticized by fans, you're going to be criticized by the other team. But you have to learn that, and we are, we have the child's or the student athlete's best interest. So you've got to go through a little criticism now to get to where you want to go, because if you can't hear it or can't take it now, it's going to be harder to take it all of a sudden when you're going through that, when you're in that tough spot, when everything is slapped you right in the face, academics, showing up for practice. You're not the best on the field anymore. You got to go to tutoring. You got training table. You have study hall. You got all this other stuff as you move on in levels, and then you're dealing with a bigger media market. You're dealing with, obviously the fan base is way larger. It's a larger fan base at the collegiate level.
Right.
And then the coaches, these coaches get paid a lot of money to, stay, to win games. So, we want to help guys out there.
Are you getting a lot of local kids in the Nashville area? You getting some national love? You getting a lot of guys coming from other places? Well, where's your clientele coming from right now?
The bulk of our guys are, I would say split between Nashville and Indiana. Obviously, me being from Indiana.
Oh yeah.
And living in the Tennessee area. that's where the bulk of our guys are coming from. But we're nationwide, man. So we have guys in California, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Illinois. We got Texas. We got some really good talent out there. It's about helping these guys and being able to, because we're about the evaluation first. Of course, we want you to go to college. We want you to get a scholarship, but we're about the evaluation first, because if you understand who and what you are, and now you know how to work or improve, now you can take those talents, and when the scholarship comes, you didn't hit a brick wall when you get to the collegiate level now, because you know how to roll, because that's what you've been training on. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. That's awesome, because I just don't see that there's enough of the guys doing what you're doing, looking out for the greater good. It's like I said, as far as there's too many people out there trying to help pump these kids up and trying to look for a handout from these kids or what have you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I mean, for the guys that are in this industry or in this business, if you look at the guys that are, and I don't mean to hate on any other recruiting sites or information sites, like, they don't care about the growth of the player. What they care about is, what can we talk about this player, or what can we get this player to come to my camp, or what can we get this player to come pay me to take him through a general workout, right, where I'm really not doing anything. That's all they care about. They don't care about the growth. They don't, we care about it. We've been there. We've done it. We understand how good this game can be to you. We understand the ups and the downs of the game. We've been there. So we can actually talk you through it and show you what you need to do to take advantage. We want these guys to take advantage of the game of football and not let the game of football take advantage of them.
That's cool, man. I'm glad that you found peace. After your playing career, a lot of players struggle. It seems like, after retirement, not knowing what they're going to do, and love seeing you so passionate and so so involved with something that you're damn good at and know what's going on with it. So how easy was that to transition? Of course, this will be your second season not playing. So, I mean, how good does it feel just to transition to something you're so knowledgeable about?
Well, I mean, obviously I had to find a passion of, because I could have went to the broadcasting or the analysts or, whatever.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if any network's ready for that.
Yeah, I don't think they're not ready for truth.
Yeah, so exactly.
It's one of those things, man, where football is my passion. I do want to coach at some point later down the line at the high school level, just to continue to teach the kids a better understanding of the game of football. But at the same time, my passion is I love watching film. And so I had to look at, okay, how can I help high school football players, which I have a passion for high school football, but then have a passion to keep myself around studying film. So that's why I came up with this model. And it's truly helping guys out there. And I'm providing jobs for other NFL players as they leave the game, for guys that want to stay around the games, be more involved at home, that time that they've missed playing the National Football League. This is a perfect opportunity. And not to say that every NFL player can evaluate film or, evaluate a player. That's not true. But the guys that we have on our team and the guys that we're going to be getting in the future, they can do that. They can make it happen, and we're excited about it.
Cool. Yeah, that's so it's My Pro Scout. Bernard Pollard. We're going to ask you some more questions here, but just so if you guys listening, wherever you're located, just check it out. MyProScout.com. Crushboy31 on Twitter. MyProScout on Twitter. It's cool things Bernard and his crew are doing. So check him out. But you want to talk about some NFL starting up? Well, I guess you could say it started up last week if you want to count that Arizona and Dallas game. But what are you looking forward to this year, man? What's some storylines that are popping out to you as the season's getting underway?
I'm just hoping that football was down last year. It really was.
Yeah.
As I watched it, the game of football was just not the same. And so what I'm hoping for is we get back to it. I know I'm gonna be a little pissed because this is an offensive game. It's harder and harder for defensive players to play the game. But nevertheless, I want good football. Right now, all 32 teams are saying they're going to win a Super Bowl, but obviously we're going to know who those teams are in November, December, playing into January. So I just want some good football.
A lot of people, I think it was USA Today, had the Patriots going all the way, 16-0 and ended up 19-0. You think they can do that? I mean, as much as they improved in the offseason?
No, not happening.
No.
They are a really, really good team. I shouldn't say it's not going to happen, but I highly doubt it. It's just one of those things where I think teams are coming along in the National Football League. They're going to get after Brady. But Brady is one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. I respect him. I don't like him. I respect him. He's a great player.
You may not be too high on his list either.
Hey, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. But
I'm just kidding.
I think it's I think it's going to be a couple of underdogs. I've got a couple of teams that I think are going to make some noise. It'll be interesting, but we'll see.
Who you think is going to make some noise? Who are your underdogs and guys are going to stand out a little bit?
Man, I'm hoping. I'm really, 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 really hoping the Redskins turn it around. I think they're going to do a good job. I'm pulling for the Giants. I think the Giants are going to do some good things. Man, I was rooting. I like the Bengals. I like the Bengals.
Yeah.
So we'll see. That's just three teams off the top of my head. But as we watch more, obviously, I'll watch it from a different angle than everybody else. So, you'll know by the end of October and November who the real teams are.
Hey, before we get too deep into this, it was pretty funny when you and I were texting last night, and I was thinking, I'm pretty knowledgeable about the NBA. I can talk some NBA with you. Maybe chat me up a little bit on some football. And then I busted out laughing when I looked back at your Twitter. Like I said, I hadn't been on your Twitter, and I was trying to do some research for the show. And your pinned tweet said, "It's too many people talking about game. They don't understand the game, have never played the game, speaking for the game. # please stop." And I said, "Man, if they ain't talking to me right there," that's what I was thinking.
Dude, I'm sorry if you took that any kind
No, I didn't. But I thought it was funny as hell, though, because we just joked about it. Like, I'm not where we come from. Actually, my school was too small. We didn't even have football, right? So, I learned football through Madden when I was growing up. So, I'm an NBA guy. But I laughed my ass off when I seen that quote or that tweet. I was like, man, if that's not ironic after the text we just had 5 minutes ago.
Right. Well, you know what? It's one of those things where I tell a lot of people, the media is, they hire all these guys and these women, and what they're doing is they're going and trying to find information on the internet. So they're scouring, trying to study. They're studying what's been said, or they're trying to figure out what loophole can I find?
Yeah.
What person is going to give me info inside the organization? What player is going to talk? And that's why, and I'm brutally honest. Like, that's why they're hiring these women, because they feel like, okay, well, if we can get a pretty woman, blonde hair, blue eyes, brunette, long legs, whatever, to throw on a skirt, she go in the locker room, the guy's that's the appeal. So they're going to talk, they're going to open up to her opposed to open up to a dude. So for me, I'm so sick and tired of seeing these people try to blabber off football, and they have no idea. And I actually went on a show in L.A. a few months ago, and this woman is on TV all the time trying to talk football. And when, I had to go get I'm ashamed to say this, I had to go get my makeup done, but I told them I'm dark enough, just put something on me where I don't glow. But nevertheless, it's one of those things where this woman was sitting there, had no idea about football, but they put a script in front of her. And so I'm real. I don't like it. I don't respect it. This game of football has been too good to me. I've been good to this game. And I hate seeing people walk over the game and talk about the game the way they are doing it. And they're doing it just for like, for hit, or whatever it may be. And I can't stand it. So that's where that tweet came from. And I really wish people will respect the game more. I know the media, they have, that's what they're doing. They're going to try to do whatever, but I don't dig what they're doing.
And another thing, other than that, and I agree with what you said, is a lot of these shows on ESPN, it's just people screaming at each other. And I went on record back in May saying I really hated to see the sports reporters go, because it was actually thoughtful. It was actually journalists that knew what they were talking about. They didn't have to scream at each other. They didn't have to pull a Stephen A. Smith. They didn't go for shock value like Skip Bayless does. all these guys, and that's what ESPN's employing right now is all the shock value and people that are saying a lot but ain't saying nothing. And I maybe I missed the old days of growing up on the sports reporters that you had, just actual sports journalists, and they probably didn't play either. But I don't know. I'm not really feeling ESPN right now with all the new people they're hiring and the stuff. And just like I said, the shock value. But how do you feel about the pregame shows that they're full of former players?
Well, I mean, you got guys, and yeah, they're full of former players, but you got a lot of guys that have succumbed to the way the media world's taking it, and I can't stand that. I don't like it. And for me, I was in LA, and when I was doing a sports show, they wanted me to talk about Richard Sherman, and they wanted me to dog Richard Sherman. They literally emailed me a script on what to say about Richard Sherman. And I was just like, I'm not doing that. I made a promise to myself when I leave this game, if I do go into commentating or analyst, whatever it may be, I will never, ever dog a football player because I've lived that life. I understand. I know what it's like to get ready for a game throughout the week. I understand what it's like to compete on Sundays. I understand the heartache, the headaches, the physical nature of the game. I understand it all. So I would never dog a player. Like, can we talk about some bad decisions guys are making off the field? Yeah, we can talk about that because that's publicized, that's out there for everybody to see. But I won't dog a guy on the football field. I will not do that. And for me, that's my world that I need to be in.
Well, that's good that you do that because that's unbelievable that they try to feed you a script to dog former players. I'm glad you stood your guns there. I just can't seem to turn on because it's more like a soap opera anymore instead of just, I miss SportsCenter when SportsCenter actually had highlights and it wasn't just it's like a sitcom almost now with all their storylines and everything. And I'm so over the Kaepernick situation. Jay Cutler's getting way too much. Jay Cutler is not that relevant, I don't know, man. He's it's crazy that he's out there. People saying he don't have to be in good shape to be a quarterback. They knew what they were getting when they signed him. For me, as I told a guy on Twitter today, he was the best option for them to sign. So, right, wrong, or indifferent, Jay is a guy who is lackadaisical. He's not a guy that's passionate. Yeah. I don't see he's a guy that's passionate about the National Football League playing. What people got to understand, a lot of people got to understand, these quarterbacks get paid a lot of money. Jay has been through, two or three $60+ million checks or agreement. Right. So when you look at that, like, they're set. They are set. What else does he have to do? And so people got to realize, man, it's for a quarterback position. Yeah, you need to be in shape. You need to be in some kind of physical shape because, you might not run as much as everybody else, but as far as if you do got to scramble and then, you're in the 2-minute drill, now you got to hurry to get your win to be able to make a pass or whatever. All of that comes into play. So, but like I said, they knew what they were getting. The offensive coordinator been around him, but I also say he was the best option for that, situation that they're in. I agree with that because he had you say one of his better years. He was more of maybe a game manager in Chicago the year with Adam Gase. But I agree, and there was a lot of people, of course, arguing the Kaepernick. He was out there. Kaepernick's to me a system quarterback, and there's a lot of other places that Colin Kaepernick, he showed a lot of talent back in the day. I don't know where he fell off at. If like I said, maybe a system. And if that's the report that's right, that he was out there in Seattle, and he turned that down, the $900,000. One thing that shows is that Kaepernick's probably still got a lot of money because he signed that. It was like a $126 million deal a couple years after y'all's Super Bowl.
Yeah, he signed a 90. I think it was a $99 or $90 million contract.
Oh, okay. I thought I'd read a little bit more than that. It was big time guarantee. So he's got money. If he's turning down $900,000, but would he turn down $5 million if somebody got injured and he was going to be a starter? Would he turn that down to keep his stance right now?
So when we're talking about the Kaepernick, and a lot of people say, well, what happened? And just like you just said, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know where he fell off. The thing about his situation, he hasn't fallen off. He is the type of quarterback, and I like what you said as far as when it comes to the system. He is a guy that needs to be in that pistol.
Yeah.
He needs to have all kind of misdirection happening for him. They got to roll him out too much. For him, his legs are a big part of his football game. And right now, this day and age of quarterback, the legs are gone. You need to sit in the pocket and throw that ball. And that's the argument I made on Twitter the other day, is because these owners are looking at it, the way all of the rulings and everything else is going, they can protect the quarterback in the pocket. And if the quarterback isn't being protected in the pocket, then the owners will take that. The coaches will take that because they say, okay, well, we got to put money into the offensive line. Well, they're paying quarterbacks over $100 million contracts now. So if they're going to pay them that kind of money, you better sit your behind in that pocket and throw the ball. The problem with Kaepernick is, as I continue to say, he's a I don't want to say a gadget guy, but he needs too many things going on to make his game work, and that's not the NFL today. And even with, I love what Harbaugh did with him. Harbaugh brought that in, and he did a lot of stuff. He tried to do it at Michigan, but, I think, when you look at the game that Michigan plays now, they're more play action or they're spread offense.
Right.
But Kaepernick is not a guy that can be in the spread offense and make every pass on the football field. A lot of people will disagree with me. As I tell fans and I tell other people, you show me your NFL credentials and I'll shut up, but I can show you mine.
That's why I'm just rolling with whatever you say, because I ain't getting called out on Twitter, man. I'm not getting called out on Twitter tonight, tomorrow. Well, since we're a Tennessee broadcast here, you're talking about some of those teams that can break out. And I know the Giants were like number 2 or 3 earlier on a preseason ranking that I'd seen, like a power ranking. But, right here, the Titans have made a lot of good improvements. And the last time you were on the show, you said, I don't want to rain on your parade, but, this and this. But after the draft, after the offseason, how do you think the Titans will do this year?
So
you're going to do it again, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. The Titans, they look good on paper. But when you look at, are they built to be a power, to be a really good football team? Are they built for December? Are they built for November? I don't think so. I look at a couple situations that they have at the receiver position. They don't have a true number one receiver. All of their receivers are just alike. All of their receivers are possession guys. So when it's time to take that ball, when it's time to take the shots down the field, who's going to run past who? I don't see a guy on the team that's going to make that happen. Obviously, they have DeMarco Murray, who's one of the best backs in the league. I respect him. I really, really like him. But if you run that horse too much, what's going to happen next? If he gets hurt, can that backup come in and be productive? I doubt it. I don't see it. That's my opinion, though. I don't see it. The offensive line is good. Having said that, I think, I'm not as high on them as everybody else is high on them. The quarterback position, I don't, Mariota's he's a good player. He makes too many mistakes. And
the fumbles kill him.
You got to limit the mistakes.
Yeah, it's not his interceptions as much as his fumbles. His fumbles are alarming, like how many fumbles he's had in his first 2 years.
Well, and that comes with security, ball security.
Right.
When he's in a pocket, I think his awareness in the pocket is pretty bad to me, I think. But other people might not agree with me. But once again, as I would tell people, you show me your NFL credentials, I'll shut up. Now, when we talk about the defensive side of the ball, it's one of those things. I'm not, Jarrell Casey's, man, I love Jarrell, but when you look at the defense, I don't think they're built for it. Like I said, it looks good on paper, but, we'll see. I don't think they'll be that good.
I hope you're wrong. I hope you're absolutely wrong. I hope we're questioning those credentials in like 3 months, or something. But no, man. I feel like hopefully Corey Davis emerges as what a number 5 overall pick should do. I don't know. I didn't watch him in college, like a lot of people probably didn't do. We all see highlights, but I like to see my pro scout maybe break down his highlights and see what's really up with him. I don't know.
If you got a bottle of water somewhere, reach over to get it, because that's the same thing they did.
Oh. All right, yeah, I hear you. I don't know, man. I am concerned about the secondary. I'm really concerned. I think that Logan Ryan is probably a good pickup. I don't know that Cyprian. We'll see, and then Adoree Jackson. I think he's going to be really exciting on what he does get to return. I mean, most punts are going out of the end zone anyway. So what's he going to be able to run back? But I don't know, man. I hope for the best. It's been a long time coming, and John Robinson, I think, has done a good job. I don't think that can be argued that he's turned the culture around there. As long as now it's just time to produce.
Well, I mean, as I continue to say, and fans are, first thing fans want to tell me is, oh man, did you see the new facility? Did you see the new locker room? Did you see,
I don't get too excited about that.
Like, yeah, I mean, but I'm a football guy, and when it comes down to bringing these guys in from New England, I was the same way when they brought Scott Pioli into Kansas City when I was at Kansas City. As I tell a lot of people, these guys that come from New England, they never called the shots. They were, and I don't mean any any disrespect when I say this, but they were errand guys. They I don't want to say do boy, but that's the only thing I can think of. Belichick called all the shots. And when these guys are put in positions where they have to call the shots, they got to build a team and everything else. I think Robinson has done some good. He's done some good things, but I just think it's still missing. We got a lot of stuff missing. A couple of decisions that should have been made that weren't made, and I think it's because they're trying to be safe. You can't be safe when you're trying to change the culture of a football team or franchise that has been losing. You can no longer be safe. You got to go in with guns a-blazing. You got to open up that checkbook, and you got to get guys in here, no matter what. And I don't think he's doing that.
And that's one thing that stood out. I don't know how good AJ Boye from the Texans ultimately is. You've seen him have one good season, but he was like the big cornerback out there to go grab this summer, and they pass up on him. They pass up on 2 or 3 big name corners, and you get the number 2 option in New England for a lot less money. Same thing with the draft. They're going after these small market guys. I'm not saying small market guys can't produce, but it seems like he really, really loves those type of players, and he loves system players that come from winning franchise. And I agree. Every now and then it's nice to go spend some money on some proven guys.
Right. I mean, and those are safe picks. Those are picks where you could, you say, okay, well, this guy hasn't been in trouble. Sometimes you got to get somebody that's been in a little trouble. It's okay. Yeah. You got to go get somebody that's been in a little trouble. You got to get somebody that's going to turn something inside out. I was disappointed, watching the draft. I was disappointed that, that you had the second pick in the first round and you didn't go and potentially get probably one of the best linebacker that could have been on your team in Reuben Foster.
Yeah.
Even if he, I think he's going to be a guy that knocks himself out, in the game. But, that's a tempo, that's a momentum setter for your defense. You have to get that. And we hope it translates. Obviously, with any player you bring in from the draft, you hope it translates to the National Football League level. But you have to make moves like that. You go get, like you said with the guy, Adoree Jackson. The first thing you said was, I think he's going to be good if he gets the ball in his hands during the kick return. Well, hold on. They drafted him to play corner.
Yeah.
So you already got people thinking about, well, hold on, if he can return punt. Well, what if he get knocked out? That was a waste of a first-round pick.
Yep.
So these are decisions that they're making that they got to be smarter with them. I don't know how good Adoree Jackson will be. I wasn't high on his film, him coming out of USC. I don't think he's a true corner. Even with the guy Logan, that was a system that they played in New England. They never got out of cover 3. Now you're coming into a system where you're going to be in cover 0. You got to run after guys, and you got to, guys going to have two-way goals on you. How is he going to perform?
I agree, man. I was a little skeptical of the pick. I don't watch that West Coast ball anyway much, so I didn't know about the pick. I just had to go off what other people was telling me. But I mean, I'm gonna go with the Titans no matter what. That's all I know. That's all we got. I'm not a hockey guy. We don't have NBA here, so damn it, I'll root for the Titans no matter what. Either way. So
let's get it.
Yeah, man. So a couple more questions there, just real quick. We'll wrap up. But I noticed you tweeting a lot during the NBA Finals. Is Kyrie Irving crazy as hell right now for trying to leave LeBron?
No. He's a guy I truly believe, and I don't have any NBA credentials. This is speaking from a fan standpoint or a former professional, talking about another professional. I honestly believe that he wants to go. He has a ring.
Yeah.
He wants to be the main guy. He wants to be the attraction. And as soon as I heard about, all the arguing or whatever that they were doing, or if it was arguing, or him wanting to be out, he wants to be that guy, and he wants to be the face of a franchise. And in order for him to be the face of a franchise, right now he's overshadowed by LeBron. And that's, LeBron's the best player in the NBA. He's the best player in the world. So you have to get from under that to go be that guy. And I mean, I completely understand where he's coming from. It's tough, man, because the organization is going to run everything through LeBron. And as a player, I would hate that. I would seriously hate that if I see my GM or my coach or the owner and them, every time we turn around, they're checking with LeBron to see something or to do something. Well, look, Kyrie Irving's he's a superstar as well.
Yeah, my opinion on that is, if you don't mind me sharing that, people say, well, he had 3 years there before LeBron came back. Come on, man. He was 19. He stayed injured a lot. He's a lot different player now than he was. And if you look at that, when he is a superstar, and LeBron can't give a commitment from year to year. He's signing 1-year deals. He's signing 2-year deals. He never gives his commitment that he's going to be in Cleveland. And if you're Kyrie and you're looking, well, LeBron's leaving next summer anyway, this team could be yours. But do you want to be in Cleveland? Do you want to be the man in Cleveland when they can't get their front office situation right? I mean, they've had how many coaches in the last 5 years? They've had how many GMs? It's like it's a crazy environment there. So why not leave? Why not leave and go make something your own? Quit worrying about what LeBron's doing. You know what I'm saying? You got your ring. So why worry about, was LeBron going to be here next year? Who cares? Go out to Phoenix and do your old thing. But
I agree.
And I liken it a whole lot to Kobe Bryant in about 2000. From Kobe from about 2001, 2004. Everybody's looking. Well, I liken it a lot because I have to put everything in Shaq terms because that's my man, and I always try to keep him relevant because people forget how bad he was. You know what I mean? Everybody's remembering the Fat Shaq on TNT. I always got to bring it back, but for real, Kobe wanted to be the man. You're with Shaq. And Shaq's putting up 30 and 15 every night, and you're winning 3 straight championships. But inside, it drove Kobe crazy because he was such a competitor. So, he wanted his own team. And, people forget Kyrie's the one that hit that game-winning shot 2 years ago in the finals in Game 7. That was him that hit the game winner. But you still want to talk about LeBron. So, for Kyrie to get out underneath his shadow, kind of like, Kobe with Shaq, you got to get Shaq traded. You got to make the Lakers your own. And that's what Kyrie's going to have to do. So, I'm not mad at it. I think it's, I don't know. I think he handled it the proper way. He went in the media, or he didn't go to the media. He went to his GM. So I don't know. I get tired of hearing about LeBron. I know LeBron's great. I get tired of hearing about LeBron. So I'm not mad at him about it. So.
Oh yeah.
I answered my own question. That's when I ran. I asked you the question. I ended up answering like a 5-minute version. I apologize for that.
Oh, you're all good, man. Let's get it.
I just anyway. One of our listeners. A lot of people just want to know what you were up to. I know they were following the My Pro Scout, but Drew McMillan wanted to know who your favorite teammate was throughout your career and why. I know it's probably a hard question to pigeonhole to one, but
yeah, man, that's crazy because a lot of my teammates, I still, all my former teammates, I still talk to 98% of them, but. I'll probably say my favorite teammate was Haloti Nada. And all my teammates they were my favorite, but Haloti and I, man, we would laugh, man, we would talk, man, we had deep conversations. Him and I, we would share the smallest hot or the cold tubs when we go on away trips, to get in and try to, get ready for a game. But Haloti was just a good dude, man. He was a really, really good dude. Family. Oh my gosh, man. So, but like I said, all of my teammates, I can hit them up and we could just sit and laugh and have stories for days.
Do you get him particularly close to anybody in Tennessee?
Oh yeah. Griff, J-Mac.
Yeah.
Them were probably those two probably were the closest. Werner, man, obviously the D room because we, we're with those guys all the time or whatever. But yeah, man. So him and then Michael Orr was, that's my dog. Him and I, we still laugh, talk, and meet up and do things or whatever. So, but yeah, those are my guys here in Nashville.
Awesome. So you've been a reality show guy. I've been watching the new Fear Factor with Ludacris a little bit. My wife has got me watching that. If you're on Fear Factor, what would eliminate you? What would be the thing that would get you off the show?
Let anything touch my lips. Oh yeah, that ain't happening.
I ain't eating no cockroach. I ain't eating one of them big camel spiders. I'm not getting in there with a big bunch of worms. I'm not getting in there with any snakes. I ain't doing none of that.
They had to eat 100-year-old cheese the other day.
I'm gonna eat that 100-year-old cheese.
No,
that's crazy. Yeah, and then swimming. If I had to swim, because I can't swim, so you put me in some water, I'm like a rock. I'm going straight down.
The other day they had something where there was like in a little plane, and they had flags on the propeller of the plane, or you had to, not the propeller, but obviously, but something on the bottom of the plane. I don't know.
That game got serious real quick.
Some Final Destination stuff on that thing.
Catch one of these flags, I dare you.
Yeah. But anyway, they had to go on the edge of this little thing on the plane and pull these flags off. And then when they got them all done, they had to drop off into the water.
Forget that.
Yeah.
Out on that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I ain't got no part of that.
No.
And last thing, we got to clear this picture up. And you already told me to settle twice today. You're wearing me out on this settle. But listen,
he needs to settle sometimes though.
I do get fired up every now and then. But yeah, so that's just the promo picture. I've tweeted out, I've Facebooked different pictures, and most of them was just you and your career. But I put the one on whichever website. And you looking at me like I've said the dumbest thing in the world. And I want to clarify this because we won that game of trivia. I wasn't probably.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, I've got that same look right now. Just looking at him like he's the dumbest.
Somebody actually.
D. I think I was just like waiting for your answer. Like, I think the camera just caught me at like a weird moment.
Hey, you ain't got to lie to him, man. Just tell him. Yeah. So you don't know some of the shit coming out of his mouth sometimes. You can't explain sometimes when he's talking. You don't know what the hell he's saying. You just got to give him that look. That's all you can do.
No, man, no. D, don't let him come between us, brother.
Yeah,
I just.
You're on my side now. We've got him in a corner now. Let's just keep going.
Just kick a man while he's down. You see what I put up with?
I've got him down. Go ahead and kick him.
Every Wednesday night, I voluntarily get this down. I can't even talk. You got me so frustrated now. His ass needs to settle over here is what he needs to do. That's what that's what another guy said. He tweeted today. He said that's exactly the look I give him every time I'm around him or something like that. I get no respect. I'm like Rodney Dangerfield, man. I get no respect around here. Thank you, Bernard, for. I think that's what it was because I was in deep thought. It looked like.
No.
Oh man, no problem, brother. No problem.
All right, man.
So let me wrap this up for us. Hey, parents, high school athletes, stop messing around with people guessing at what it takes to make it be a pro. Let a Super Bowl winning NFL pro look over your game and tell you specifically what you need to work on to make it big. Go to myproscout.com. Sign up. Submit your tape. Get personalized coaching. Bernard Pollard, thanks for being on with us tonight again, man.
Man, I thank you guys so much. No,
we thank you, man. Anytime we can have you take time out of your schedule, brother. We appreciate it. And my birthday, as you remember, is one day away from yours, so I'll be looking for a dinner in Nashville.
BB 19, one game.
Where you want to go?
I don't care, man. I'll take Wendy's.
All right, dude.
No, man. No, thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Good luck with my pro scout, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, y'all take it easy.
All right, man. Thank you.
That was Bernard Pollard, man. I love listening to that guy.
Yeah, man. He's got the credentials to talk about some NFL.
That's right, man.
Don't question his credentials.
That's right. And it's been noted that I'm not a sports guy, but I could just listen to him talk. Anybody that's real whenever they're talking like that, I can listen to that cat.
He talks about
like it is.
He talks about not being ready to be on broadcast. They're not real. I could see him going back to my NBA. It seems like everybody's so dry.
Yeah.
It's on a lot of these NFL people are so dry. When I put it to the NBA, NBA on ESPN is so dry, and they talk about the game. You look at those guys on TNT; they're very knowledgeable. You talk about Shaq Barkley, Kenny Smith, and Ernie Johnson. They know the game, and they talk about the game. They also do it in an entertaining way.
Yeah.
And if there was ever a NBA on TNT for the NFL, I think Bernard's there because he's so knowledgeable, but he's also so funny, so entertaining.
Oh yeah, he says he may not be ready for it, but he's got the personality for it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think everybody's ready for him.
I just think it's so cool that guys like him and Jim White and Mickey Ryan are always so, I won't say eager, but so willing to be on our show.
Yeah.
For us to be at our stature, just trying to build this show, and we always get a little bit more credibility when you get guys like that. Yeah. And what's always so amazing to speak of their character, of those three in particular, I just love, Jim White and Mickey Ryan in the Nashville media, then Bernard doing what he's done his whole career. I mean, for them to thank us like we're doing them a favor, that's what's always so mind-boggling.
Beautiful
to me. It's just awesome. So we can't say thank you enough to those guys. And if you're listening to this show just because you saw Bernard Pollard, he tweeted it or what have you, if you like what you hear, man, go out there on iTunes, give us a like, give us a subscription.
Yeah, go ahead and subscribe because, now that the season's rolling in, DK is going to come back with, an actual sports talk segment. So Sports Talk with DK was huge for him whenever he was in Lafayette up there at the radio station. So we're going to go ahead and bring that back. It's time for that to come through.
Yeah, we tried to talk a little bit of sports on this show. And I, like Lucas just mentioned, I had my own radio show due to work purposes. I had to quit that show. Been kind of jonesing to get into some sports. Right here we are, football season. So, man, we're gonna be getting into that. So, yeah, we're free. We're free we're trying to be friendly for the working man out here. Just trying to. We're not making much off this. We're just. So yeah, if you like what you hear of the Bernard episode, go back to our archives. Bernard's been on a couple of times. We've had Keith Bullock. We've had Kevin Dyson. We've had some, like I said, Jim White. Just check us out, man. We're all over the place. iTunes, Stitcher,
YouTube. Go out there and check us out. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back right after this. It's football time in Tennessee. What does that mean for you? That means you get blessed with Titans talk. That's right, football talk right here every week. Sports Talk with DK, backed by popular demand. So pull on your big girl panties and get ready for football.
Why is he so excited? I didn't think Lucas liked football. Nah, screw it. Sports Talk with DK coming back, baby. All right, guys, we're back, and we're about to debut our new segment.
Here's my gripe.
Golly, you come in hot.
I'm coming in hot, bro.
Yeah, here's my gripe.
Here's my gripe.
Something that just chaps your ass every week. Something just getting on your nerves, whether it's a weekly thing, a daily thing. It just happened once.
It just happened once, and it run all over. You just got.
So from here going forward, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, text message. I don't care how you got to get hold of us.
Send it in.
Tell us what the problem is, and tell us what your gripe is.
And let me start off here by saying Blake Allen, his gripe is people who don't listen to OLR podcast. It really butters his biscuits. And you know what? I'm with him.
Yeah.
I'm with him, brother.
I agree.
It butters my biscuits.
Like I told him, I said, those people are losers, Blake Allen. Don't be that loser.
You can't help them. You can't help them. We've told them. You've told them. Tell them again if you have to. Get them on there. Tell them stop buttering your biscuits.
Buttering them?
That's what he said. Butters my biscuit.
Don't really get that, but there's a lot from the Sourwood community I don't understand and don't pick up.
I'm going with it.
But yeah,
I'm going with it because I like what he's saying.
I agree.
I like what he's saying.
I agree. I feel like everybody should subscribe for free on iTunes.
For free.
So yeah, what else was said on the Facebook page?
Josh Smith reminded me that this was a Peter Griffin spot on one of the Family Guy shows where he was. You know what really grinds my gears?
I've never watched an episode of Family Guy.
Well, you're a freaking loser too. Yeah. James Hatcher apparently had nothing. I can't believe that.
Well, I told him
as much stuff as gets in his crawl.
Then did you see what he followed up with? People that talk too much. And I said, what do you mean? Like people that do podcasts for a living? James does. For everybody that doesn't know, any of our outside listeners, James is the guy that we've had on the show, referenced many times, and he.
If I didn't like him so much, I'd go ahead and air some of those things. It really graps him.
If I didn't like him so much, I'd go flatten his tires and putting a dead kitten in his mailbox, just for being a jerk to us. But no, he gives us a hard time all the time. Every time you say anything about somebody be conceited or full of themselves or something, or talking too much. He's like, oh, this guy is coming from the guy who podcasts on the side. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But James, you're literally the most pissed off person I've ever met, and I love you.
I lived with you. Love you to death.
But you
Pissed.
You have a gripe, but he just said it wasn't Facebook. He didn't want to air it.
It wasn't Facebook or podcast appropriate.
But let me tell you something. Twitter's different because every time he'd have a few beverages and get on Twitter past 11 p.m.,
he'd go ahead and air it right.
We actually did a roast of him at Woolly Bullies one year, and I did the top 10 James Hatcher drunk social media post past 11 p.m.
Uh-huh.
Good stuff. He sit there and took it like a man.
Amanda Wright says, people who slow down to merge on the interstate or truckers who drive in the left lane. And I'm assuming that...
Brandon. With a Y.
Yeah, is Brandon's everyday Nashville traffic gripe.
It's her husband.
Okay. I was thinking that her autocorrect might have got her there.
Well, it should have, because we don't really spell those names with Y's generally, but, well,
I like it.
I do that, though. I slow down to merge on the interstate.
Why do you do that?
Because I don't want how many times have you ever been going on the interstate and somebody just come flying by in the right lane and not letting you
How many
in?
times you ever went to get on the interstate and everybody's driving 45 mile an hour? It's because that's what you're merging. You're merging into traffic. That means you're going with the flow of traffic. That means you need to match what's happening there. So
but if
what's happening there is not slowing down as you're getting.
If you're at the end of the merge lane and nobody's getting over for you,
you gun it and ram them is what you do.
That's it. Well, I also got behind you the other day going 45. Through Gainesboro.
Oh, so he's in Gainesboro. I wouldn't merge it on the interstate.
Yeah, but
I come onto the interstate hot. I'm coming in hot.
Times have changed when I have to follow Lucas Ekman and I'm beating him a wheel going, dude, come on.
Just go
Pull
on.
over for me. I live 3 minutes from here and you're making it 10. Just get out of my way. What are you doing?
There was a time when you went and caught me on that road.
Yeah. Well.
Long gone, brother. Like I told my sister, whenever you learn you can't drive for shit, you slow down.
You sure have.
You're having some issues with that microphone too, aren't you?
Yeah, I feel like we shouldn't be having these kind of issues.
I do too. I feel like, after I just bought brand new mics and brand new mics, boom stands, you got to be able to.
Why do you give me the ugly old yellow microphone for?
Well, because our colors are black and yellow, so I got the black one, you got the yellow one.
I like the blue one so much better though. Blue's my favorite color.
Slide down there later.
Favorite color.
Favorite color.
This is pissing me off a little bit. I don't know.
Well, I'm with you, Amanda. I hate it when people slow down to merge on the interstate, and I hate anybody who drives in the left lane. I was going up the interstate on Friday, and there was a girl talking on the telephone, driving in the left lane with a truck beside of her. A semi passing this girl in the right lane because she's driving so slow in the left lane.
Did that telephone, was it rotary?
Had to have been. She was.
Because you're the only person I know that says telephone.
I like to pronounce every letter in the word.
Not a cell phone, kids. It's a telephone. A rotary one.
Yeah.
And it was a Nokia.
I heard a guy today called ibuprofen. He pronounced it ibuprofen. I told him, I said, that's a real interesting thing to do, to spell the part of the word out whenever you're pronouncing it.
Well, the next one is Jake Stafford, at Jake Stafford 815. People not following or understanding the basic rules of the road. If you have the right of way, don't try to wave me through. Just effing go.
Oh my God! If you're at a 4-way stop, and if everybody comes to a 4-way stop at the same time, the person furthest to the right gets it.
Is that right?
That is right.
Huh.
2 people come up to a 4-way stop. The guy on the furthest to the right gets it. Go. Just go. Just go. I like to present them with their options. I like to put my hand up in the window and present them with the thing that they're supposed to be doing right now. I like to usher them into the next lane. So just go.
I mean, I'm always happy when I'm at a 3-way or 4-way or anything, and people will just motion me through. That's just showing common courtesy. Like, hey, I'm not that big of a hurry. Go ahead. You
know what my favorite one is though? Whenever you think they're going to let you go, when you start going and they go,
yeah,
and then you both stop and you're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, that was my bad.
That was
you
me.
go." And they're like, "No, you go ahead." So you're like, "Okay, well, I'll go then." And then you both do it again. I'm just going to sit here. It's
too much courteous.
You just go. Yeah, we're too nice to each other. My courteousness is going away in a hurry.
I tell you, when all hell breaks loose is when it's supposed to be a red light and the power's out in town.
Oh, if it's blinking.
And people act like they don't know it's supposed to be a four-way.
Yeah. Now, this red light's blinking yellow. That means I just fly through this dude. That's what I'm doing right now.
Or I sit there and stare at you.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah.
It's a four-way. That's everybody knows that.
Power's out. Now you got a four-way stop.
That's what it is. It was on your written permit test at 15 years old.
Oh, you know what the other thing gets me about traffic? You are supposed to turn a blinker on before you turn left or right.
You are.
You are. You really are. If you're going to exit the road, you're going to do 5 mile an hour up to the road, and we just think, hey, this guy is just driving real slow. Here's a turn. There's a passing lane coming up. I'm just going to go ahead and pass this cat, right? That's not what he's doing. He's getting ready to turn. He just ain't got a blinker on.
I don't get road rage. I don't get road rage very much. We were coming back from Titans camp the other day, and this guy, it was raining, and we were in the left lane, and this guy was in the right lane. We had just come up on him, and he starts shooting a bird out the window. I'm like, we're the only car around him. I said, is he shooting us a bird? Like, what? We didn't do anything to him. I said, Waylon, look behind the vehicle, because I was about to give this guy the business. But then I looked, he was going off on the guy in front of him for going so slow on the interstate. But this guy was pissed. I'd take it more as a joke. Like, if you're going to be pissed at me on the road, I just
start laughing at him.
I come off Interstate Drive one day and was turning onto Willow, and you know how it yields right there at the end of Interstate Drive?
Yeah.
This car got behind me, and it literally just, because the traffic's coming, you got 2 or 3 different turning lanes, and it just got to where I could go. I heard beep, beep, beep. I was like, come on, really? So I pull out, and this car is just riding my butt the whole way, like there's not 2 lanes.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so I slow down. They finally, I let them around me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get behind them and go, beep, 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 beep. Every time they slow down, beep, 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 beep.
Give them just wave at them?
Every time.
Yeah.
Then we come to a red light right there in front of, somewhere on Willow.
Mm-hmm.
And the light had not been green for
just
barely.
a split second.
I laid down on the horn.
Yeah.
Laid down on the horn.
Mm-hmm.
Then right over there, passing right there by the cash and carry, the IWC cash and carry, I finally went around them, beep, 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 and just giving them this is a big wave, and like the Beverly Hillbillies wave at them.
Yeah.
Just people are stupid. They deserve to be made asses out of.
So what's next?
Well, I replied to Jake Stafford because he's a cop, and I said, "Too bad you don't have a badge to do anything about that." And he said, He said the gun tends to be more persuasive, but people don't give a shit anymore. It's a deadly combination of ignorance and apathy. I don't know, and I don't care.
Yeah. That's a lot of truth. A lot of I don't care out there.
Yeah. Then you always just pull I didn't know I couldn't do that, officer.
Yeah.
Like on Dave Chappelle, old comedy when he's riding with the white guy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dave, settle down. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I didn't know I couldn't do that.
Yeah,
Hey, Dave, you know what? I did know I couldn't do that.
They say Andrew Dice Clay will walk through the middle of an airport and light a cigarette. And when the security guard comes up to him and tells him to put it out, he'll go, I didn't know I couldn't do it.
Well, that probably worked in 87 last time.
Yeah, this is in 2017.
Derek Woolbright said, This week's is Dolphins fans acting like Jay Cutler is suddenly Dan Marino. He was about to start broadcasting for Fox for a reason, kids.
So how did he do in training camp?
He just got signed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said,
I've been seeing stuff on MSN or Yahoo or something.
Yeah, he retired pretty much. He moved on from Chicago, and he was going to be an analyst for Fox on the B team, and the quarterback from Miami, of course, hurt his knee, and Smoking Jay got the call. So there's smoking memes. He's a big smoker, and last time we seen him, he was showing his bare ass on a beach with his hot smoke show wife.
Yeah,
if I can borrow your word for a
puffing on a cigarette.
He's always lacked any sort of killer instinct, and he's always looked like he didn't care one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
So if this guy's your savior, then you're probably in trouble.
Shit out of luck.
And he's never been a great in shape quarterback. I mean,
well, if you're running around smoking a cigarette, it ain't like you're going to be an athlete.
That's what I'm saying. He never has looked like he's a great athlete, and that's what
he does have that Chicago background, though. The Bears not giving a shit about stuff like that, just being tough old dogs.
Yes, of course, he's in Nashville. I mean, he went to school at Vanderbilt, so he with the whole off season to prepare, he's never been in great shape. So I can't imagine what he's going to look like when he comes out there. But I'd hate to be a Dolphins fan. I just hope Marcus Mariota can stay healthy, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, absolutely. Everybody's acting like he is a little bit more than he is. So I have to tend to agree with Derek on this one. And man, Drew McMillan hit the head right on the head. Holding the door for someone and them not saying thank you.
Oh yeah.
That's actually what I said.
I would say, didn't you say the other day you'll give them a "you're welcome" regardless?
Every time.
Every time.
But it's not just, it's everybody. Like if some little kid, 15, 16-year-old, I don't give them a pass. Your damn mom and daddy should have taught you better than that.
Uh-huh.
At 15 and 16, yeah, you're a punk, and I was a punk, but probably, who knows? I think I would like to think that I would say thank you to somebody if they held the door open for me. I'm
going to go ahead and say that you would have made fun of them a little bit. You might have said thank you, but then you'd have said some shit to them.
I hope not. I think that
I know you hope so, but I remember that more than you do probably.
Yeah, well, the best thing about podcast is this is 50% mine, and I can preach revisionist history all I want.
You know what I really whenever people look at you after you've held the door open for them, like they did you a favor of them letting you go in. I would rather them go in and not say anything than stand there and look at me like, you're supposed to do that, and then walk on in. I got that at Cheddar's one time. Little old woman, glasses, short woman, gray hair. She said, she didn't say anything. She just looked at me like, well, that was what you were supposed to do. Which I was. I was supposed to hold it for her, but hey, give me a thank you.
Mm-hmm. I think you can be. People are rude from all age groups, but I do absolutely love. It's almost my thing now. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Mildred.
You, Mildred. You're welcome.
Did you teach your kids? How about your grandkids? I'm pissed off just thinking about it, man. But it happens all the time, and it's almost a rarity that you're almost shocked when somebody does say, "Hey, thank you."
Yeah.
You're welcome. Can you walk back out? I'll open it for you again.
Come through. Let's do this again. You know what? I lived in Cookville for so long that I quit waving at people whenever I made them on the road.
They look like you're idiots.
Whenever you're in Cookville, you throw a hand up, but they look at you like, what the hell are you doing? Because I don't even do it now.
Yeah, people that any of our far off listeners that listen and subscribe to us, we live in such a rural community that whether you know everybody or not,
you wave at them when you're passing them down the road.
You wave at them like you're your first cousin, your daddy, or whoever. You just throw a hand up.
Sometimes I don't even throw my hand up. Sometimes I give them the point. I point at them like this guy coming towards me. You're the guy. You're the one right there. That's what I used to do. I used to give them that. What do I do now? Mean mug them.
Didn't people tell you that it was rude to point though?
Not when it's rude to point if you're serious. But me, I'm telling them you're the guy.
Good driving.
You're doing a good job over there.
I don't know. People don't care to wave. They don't want to look. They don't even look at you waving.
Yeah.
Don't wave at me.
Don't wave at me. I don't know you.
People will ride with you and say, "Do you know them?" No, I'm just waving at them. What would be your?
I waved at a calf one time. Driving down the road, I waved at everybody so much. I just waved it. I was like,
I know we're some.
This is where I'm going to quit. This is right now, this moment, this is my point in time.
We're rural and podunk, but I think you just took it to another level right there.
Another level.
What's your, here's my gripe for the week. Do you have one?
I kind of aired it a while ago. So it's the people driving in the left lane going down the interstate. That's, whenever I was thinking of this the other day, that's what I was thinking of. That silly little girl talking on that telephone. Going, yes, I said telephone again. Just
I didn't even notice.
Driving in the left lane down the interstate.
Her telephone. Was she playing her Sega Game Gear? Maybe her Game Boy?
She had a Game Boy in her pocket, yeah. Couldn't keep a consistent speed. Speeding up, slowing down. You think we're passing this semi over here on the right? We're going to get up to the front of it. We're going to slow down and get back behind it again. We're just going to keep playing that game. We're going to play that game.
I hate that. And what about the two people that drive side by side?
Nobody can speed up. Neither one of you can. Neither one of you can go fast.
We're just hanging out side by side.
Yeah.
Me and you forever, together forever.
You know what? If somebody's doing that, I give them the point too. We've got this. This is ours. This is our road.
Get over.
Yeah.
I guess mine.
What's your gripe?
I didn't have a gripe until I was on social media earlier. And, of course, a lot of I'm on social media a lot anyway, but when I'm preparing for a show, I especially am.
Yeah.
People that like their own photos on Instagram.
Oh, that's not a thing, surely.
It is, man. It's mostly girls.
Liking their own photos.
You know what? And I've accidentally, like, I'll make fun of it, and every now and then it'll say, like, I'll be looking at a picture that I've posted, and it'll say, you and 58 other people like this. It's like, oh, shit, how'd I hit? And I'll go back and unlike it because you don't want to be that douche,
Yeah.
But, like,
so that's a thing then.
That's just an accidental thing on my part, like just scrolling and hitting like. So I try to give people benefit of the doubt.
That they're doing the same thing.
There's 2 or 3 girls in particular that I've noticed. They're like, are you that desperate for likes? Are you that so self-absorbed that you're like, oh, well, man, only 12 people like my picture? Nope, 13 have.
Gotcha.
I just feel like, dude, yeah, you like it. It's your picture. You wouldn't have posted it if you didn't like it.
Makes sense.
And I posted this on Facebook well over a year ago, probably 2 years ago. And I got so much crap. People attack me for it. Like, I do that. I'm like, well, hey.
People attacking you for saying that they do that?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
They're like, well,
there's nothing wrong with me liking my own photo. I'm a pretty guy.
And I'm like, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, of course you like it. You post it. Like, if I take a picture, I'm like, oh, dude, that picture sucks.
That.
I'm not going to post that one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but if you like it good enough to, it's kind of, it's understood. Hey, I'm posting this picture. I like it.
I like it.
But don't tap it.
Don't double tap your own photo.
Don't tap it, man. I just think that, and some girls do that. I'm telling you. And like I said, I was like, maybe it was an accident. So then I got curious and I looked at their profile.
What an accident.
They like every damn picture they post. Like, come on, girls.
That's hungry right there. I think that's the definition of hungry or thirsty. Which one is it? What's the kids saying these days? Thirsty?
Oh, are they?
I don't know.
I don't know. My kid hadn't brought that one home yet.
Oh, okay.
It's conceited is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
And
whichever one I'm saying means conceited.
And I'm gonna tell you, I post a lot of pictures because I've always been a picture guy. It's worth 1,000 words if you didn't mind.
Uh-huh.
Well, one of these days, all my guy friends have always been like, "Why you post me pictures?" Well, you're happy to see them. Like they're always like, "Oh, that's a cool picture."
Yeah.
Or when I post an old one, they're like, "Oh, that's cool." I wish.
Yeah.
Well, sorry. For having it.
Yeah.
Who else would have took it?
I've never seen so many those little throwaway Kodaks in my entire life.
That was a little too much.
From 2002 to 2004 or 5.
And I've had to throw half of those pictures away because I don't want Waylon seeing them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I do.
There's still some left. I mean, I just got rid of the awful ones. But, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. There was too many of those laid around at parties is what's.
Oh, yeah. That's when the good pictures come out, generally.
I was, my aunt. I was babysitting one time for my aunt. I was going through pictures at her house. And I was like, I just got to address this, man. What's up with this picture? She went, oh, yeah, I thought I threw that away. Yeah, those are all we had a little birthday party here one time, and some guy grabbed the digital camera and took it to the bathroom with him. I said, well, he was proud of it, wasn't he?
Got a picture of the goat.
Waiting. There's not enough waiting references on this show. Your homework assignment is to watch
Waiting.
Because you remember it better than I do. Because when you first made that goat reference the other day, I couldn't remember. I forgot about the goat.
Really?
Yeah. Been a long time since I watched.
You got to hit them. If you get somebody with the goat, you got to punch them.
So it's like the circle game, but with nuts.
No, for a different reason though. You got to punch them for being gay, for looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't. Why would you look at it?
Why would you look at it, right?
Oh, I got to tell you a story this morning.
Tell me.
I was at the gym this morning, got out of the shower, and we've talked about this on the show before.
Mm-hmm.
This dude today took it to another level that I've never. We've talked about the old men over when I was at the.
Oh, yeah.
When I was at the YMCA working out 9-10 years ago.
Yeah.
They just come over. You be tying your shoe, getting ready to go work out, and they'll just come over and
drop the towel,
and it'd be like testicular city right up in your grill, you know.
Yeah.
Does it come with a certain age? You're like, piss on it, man. I put my dues in. Mm-hmm. I've been playing racquetball here for 35 years.
Here's the meeting too, brother.
You know, I just feel like, man, there's a time and a place for that. Just put a towel on and go to your corner. So, I saw this older gentleman come in, and I was like, I got to hurry up and get done with this set
because he's coming over.
I want to shower before he showers. Yeah. And I want to get out of here.
Uh-huh.
Well, I did. I was getting out of the shower as he was walking up the hallway.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, crap, I ain't going to be weird. So I was, obviously naked. I don't shower with clothes. So I was sitting out drying off.
Yeah.
Then I saw him coming. I was like, crap, this is so weird. I was like, maybe he'll go to the bathroom or he'll do something. I'll just stand here.
Not even close.
So I dried off my front a little bit, dried my legs off, and then he just stood there.
Looking, staring.
Well, he didn't.
Taking it in.
Don't take us to a weird level it ain't got to be taken to, okay?
I'm just trying to keep up with the story.
I'll tell the story. I'll tell the story.
I thought we was on the same page.
No, you're on a weird...
I just thought we was on the same page.
I don't want to... You're not even in the same book right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guy's meat gazing. Go ahead.
Yeah. So and I'm like, okay, well, this sucks. He's obviously not going to go piss or do anything else but stand here and get butt naked himself.
Yeah.
This is getting weird.
Yeah.
So I jumped back in the shower and finished drying off. And I wrapped the towel around me, pulled the old underwear around the legs under the towel. And then he disrobes.
Yeah.
And this dude's got the hairiest person not named Fraley
you've ever seen.
You know, only Fraleys are this hairy.
Grizzly bears, yeah.
This guy just, wearing the whole thing under.
Got a sweater on.
Sweater. A whole body. Hairiest ass I ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because he's right there. I'm like, man, what? It's so weird. He just kept on. He's like, where you work at, buddy? I said, ooh, well, let's just go ahead and have this conversation. Gets in front of, because he takes like the quickest shower ever, because I was playing on Twitter while I was sitting there, waiting to cool down and stuff. It still gets so hot in there. Or it just got weird and it got hot. I don't know. But I was playing on my phone. Had my shorts on, shirt, so I was pretty much ready.
Yeah.
Just hadn't brushed my teeth and stuff yet. He comes back out, supposed to conversation. He's butt naked in front of the mirror.
Yeah.
And I just...
Checking it out, right.
Gets a hairdryer out, starts blowing his hair like normal, then starts blowing his chest hair. You weren't ready for that, was you? He did, though. I swear to God.
In my head, I thought he was drying. He dried his chest hair off, and then you said it out loud, and it caught me. It caught me off guard.
He started blowing his chest hair. Then he blew his junk all the way down his legs.
Yeah.
Then he bends. I'm like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah.
What age do you got to be where you don't care anymore? And you're like, you know what? I don't care. I've been coming to this gym. It's my gym. No, this is a public bathroom, man, in a gym open to the public. Don't act like you're in your bathroom just getting out of your jacuzzi tub.
Yeah, man, whenever I was at Tech, there was one of my professors that I spoke to a lot. We did some other, we had some projects that we were working on when we got to senior level stuff. So we talked a lot. I go over there. Cat's been playing racquetball, right? I get done lifting weights. I come back in there. I go to change, right? He comes over. Apparently, I picked the one locker that's like 2 lockers down from where he's at, right? So he's in there talking to me. I think, surely this isn't the place for this conversation, for one. 2, surely he's not going to drop this towel right here. 2 lockers down from where I'm sitting at. I'm a pretty big guy, spread out a little bit whenever I sit down, right? So we're pretty close. He goes ahead and drops that towel, gets the hand towel out and starts drying off. Dries himself off with the hand towel, laughing, talking, having a good time the whole time. I'm going to say he's mid to late 50s at that point in time. Just having a good old conversation. And the only thing I can think of every time we're in class from then on is, this guy was hitting on me. This guy was hitting on me right here in the middle of the locker room over at Tech. He wanted something to happen right here. I don't know if I'm going to get an A in this class or not because I didn't do anything.
I've seen this movie a few times.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen a lot of, I've read that storyline. That if you watch adult entertainment, which I don't anymore, any less. I'm married, is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
But that happens a lot.
It happens.
Like, hey, are you going to stay after class?
Yeah, you're sticking around. It's
usually like a big, busty brunette and some little nerdy-looking dude. It's never...
Yeah. Well, this was the other way around. The teacher was a little nerdy-looking dude.
Never put
and I was the big, busty brunette, I guess.
Never put that in my search bar, I don't believe, for that scenario.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
So did you get an A or a D in that class?
I got the big old A in that class.
I was hoping you say you got the D.
Yeah. No, I got an A in that class. I'm not going to tell you what it cost me, but
didn't have to. You walked funny for 2 weeks.
Walked funny.
Let's take one more break. We're going to come back to cover some Titan storylines for this week prior to preseason.
Hi, this is Mike Keith, voice of the Tennessee Titans, and you're listening to the One Lane Road podcast with Lucas and DK. Go Titans.
All right, so we're going to talk sports talk with DK.
The time of I'm tired right now. We just talked about it. I'm so mumble mouth tonight, but I got up at 4, guys. When you live out in BFE like I do, and I'm trying to go to the gym in the mornings, I am so tired right now. This monster drink, this garbage, it's not even working right now. Working. So I apologize for the mumble mouth tonight. But
I'll tell you why it ain't working. That's a rock star all day, brother.
What's an energy drink though?
Yeah, you said Monster.
Jesus Christ. I can't even get my own brand right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, tell me about some Titans.
Well, that just gets me excited because when Mike Keith's voice comes across like that, especially plugging our own show for us, thank you,
sir.
Mike Keith. It's that time, man. Hey, I've got to mention before we get started, but with these two, you can't leave their names off the podcast or forever be blackballed. Carlos Huesca said his number one gripe is that he hadn't been on the show yet.
Oh, yeah.
Carlos was supposed to be on the podcast one night. He instead went to a hokey little card show.
We've had his voice on here.
Yeah, we've had Carlos has been on the show a couple times. We mentioned him a lot.
Said long overdue. Hey, you got on, brother.
You got to quit playing with those magic cards or whatever you're playing with.
Yeah, World of Warcraft's over, brother.
It's over, man. You want to come talk. I know what he wants to talk about: LeBron and Carmelo and how much he hates them. So we're gonna
and hockey. We
get closer to those two seasons. We'll for sure probably get Carlos on. And then Thad said his number one gripe was he was upset that
we keep talking about him. And
no, well, he takes that in stride. Right. But he says that Carlos wasn't the number one drama queen last week. He said he thinks it's a legit argument.
Legit argument that Carlos gets it, huh?
Then he told me that I should get a Shaq sex toy, like a blow-up doll Shaq.
Shaq says, yeah, man.
Let's do it. Martin on this floor. Damn, Gina.
Mariota's skeptical again.
McNair.
Oh, yeah, McNair's skeptical.
Lucas don't even know football.
I don't even know football.
I'm excited. Not only is the Titans excited, that things are getting chippy in practice. Even the fan base is getting chippy.
Mm-hmm.
Got guys knocking the hell out of each other at a scrimmage on last Saturday. I was there, me and Mackie and Waylon.
Did you get to see this happen?
No, man. That looks like it's underneath the press boxes. So that would have been on the same side of the stadium we were on. But
so there's a old guy with too much hair and a Batman shirt.
I feel like there's an age limit on Batman shirts, first off.
And he tees off on this other guy and then gets put straight in a headlock and then gets this guy throws the worst punches I've ever seen. He tries to hammer fist him with the soft side of his fist.
And then look at that face. Look like he's been kicked by Van Damme in 89.
I mean, he is straight up bleeding from the mouth.
And let's take note this guy had a keep calm shirt on while he's
keep calm and tighten up. So it says this guy in the background says, "Don't get in trouble for this." Hey, brother, you're already in trouble. That's assault, brother.
Shout out to the girl in the plaid shorts, also. But yeah, man.
Hey, this cat up front right here, looking like Carlos Huesca, don't give a damn about what's going on behind him. He's just watching this game.
I at least hope the third string was in when this was going there. Then there goes.
Security got him.
There goes Chris Cornell.
He tried to run off.
Twin brother here.
Yeah.
And this guy
he's sad as he can be.
Well, he knows just got knocked the F out.
Which seat's mine? Which seat's mine?
You can't wear a keep calm shirt and then jack somebody's phone, push him in the chest, and not expect to get knocked out a little bit. And this guy's like, hey, man.
Well, he got knocked out a little bit before he threw those god-awful punches at that guy. That was, I feel sorry for him, but
how old should you be before you stop wearing Batman shirts? 14.
Probably about the same time you fight in public like that. if you feel it, if you feel it necessary to give the bottle feed to somebody whenever you punch them in the face.
It's like a little baby calf. He's just trying to give him his fist.
He was bottle feeding that guy. Everybody go check that out.
Titans surprisingly didn't have a comment for this.
Yeah. That's why those people in Jacksonville post all those mayonnaise pictures for
making us look bad.
Things like that.
Idiots. Enjoy Alex Tanney throwing to guys that aren't going to make the team. Okay? Let's enjoy the third team scrimmage that was going on in the field.
That's what I don't get. I mean, this is preseason third string out there running around. Why are they so excited? Why are they so worked up?
I don't know.
The Batman got drunk.
It said the older guy took the Batman guy's phone, and somebody I couldn't.
I'm sure it was accidentally because that guy's old. He didn't know whose phone he was taking.
And so I couldn't get any confirmation on this, but somebody said they were actually together and they knew each other and they were actually friends.
Friends like that, who needs enemies?
Yeah, no doubt. I don't know. There's always good people out there who's going to keep videos like that out here for us to talk about.
Well, other than the UFC light that happened at the Titans game, what else going
on? Two different things. I saw just before we went on recording here, the big changes at 104.5. Frank Wycheck has always been Mike Keith's color guy for games on the zone, and he announced last week or 2 weeks ago he was going to step down, and just worry about Frank a little bit because he was on after the Super Bowl last year saying he had all these issues with CTE that's going on, and sometimes you hear him on the air and he seems like a little aloof, just a little bit lost sometimes, and you just worry about guys like that because Frank's always been a really cool guy to meet. Talked to one of the greatest players in Titans history, and he came out right before we recorded that he's actually stepping down from his morning role on the Wake Up Zone 104.5 and stepping away. He's been with Mark Howard, and I drew a blank on the other guy.
Did you hear the report that come out about how many NFL players have CTE?
What's the number? It's probably all of them.
They did a study of previous NFL players, and 97 or 99% of the ones that they studied had CTE. Man. The NFL is rocking these kids. And then something like 85% of the people that's played football ever had CTE in some form.
That's why you're seeing a lot of parents not letting kids do it these days, Well, even people that made a living, in the sport aren't letting their kids play. So I mean, to each his own. There's risks in everything you do.
But, for sure.
That's an alarming number. That's for sure. But
well, there's a lot of good things coming down the pike right now. I mean, hopefully the FDA will approve a bunch of this stuff in the United States. But like stem cell injections into the brain, stuff like that, it really looks like they're coming up with some ways to reverse some of this. Not all of it, obviously, but to some degree.
I just, so good luck with Frank. I hate to see him. I love listening to him in the mornings when I'm able to listen, but he's looked like he's going to be replaced by Blaine Bishop, who's on the 3HL every evening with Mickey Ryan, our guest last week, and then Brent Daughtry. So Blaine will be taking Frank's spot on the morning show, and Dawn Davenport, who's been with News 2, she's been there at least 10 years, I guess, probably on News 2. She's going to go into the role on 3HL, so big upgrade for her as far as broadcast. She done some sideline stuff for the Titans in the preseason in the past. So a lot of big changes. I just hope all's well with Frank. I just and Frank's actually said he'd come on the show a few times, and so probably got some deep, bigger fish to fry right now than coming on our show. So we just want to.
So how'd the Titans look in the preseason?
I don't know. You can't tell much.
Yeah,
they're ready to start knocking hell out of other people, and Mariota's looking good though. I think the big concern on that was how his leg was gonna, how he was gonna come back from the leg injury after breaking it on Christmas Eve last year, his fibula. So he's running for some touchdowns. Eric Decker's looking like a crazy good pickup, man. They picked him right off the scrap pile. When the Jets had their fire sale, the Jets decided we're going to be the worst team in football, bar none, and just cut everybody with any name value.
Just got rid of everybody.
And luckily, Eric Decker's wife, Jessie James,
I would say,
Decker, sings, Nashville, and so it was a perfect fit for us. So we're looking at last year, our top receivers were Rashard Matthews, who's had a career year coming over from the Dolphins, had nearly 1,000 yards. And Tajay Sharp, 5th-round pick, was kind of the second receiving option. Of course, Delaney Walker, one of the top 5 tight ends in the game. But now you're looking at Tajay Sharp, who is the second option, is way back in the background now. After you draft Corey Davis with your 5th overall pick, you draft Taywan Taylor out of Western Kentucky, 2nd round. He's been showing out, I guess, in preseason and training camp. You got Decker. I mean, you got all these options. You got Sharp now. He's a 5th option, and Matthews is probably 2nd, 3rd option after almost 1,000-yard season. So Mariota's got the weapons. I think our front line there, Jarrell Casey, Derek Morgan, Brian Arakpo, Avery Williamson, man, they're sneaky good, man. Like, they don't think they get enough credit. Last year, our secondary was kind of the joke of the league. I mean, we let Matt Barkley go crazy on us last year and almost beat us with like a third-string quarterback there. So they went out, signed Jonathan Cyprian, signed Logan Ryan, picked up Adoree Jackson, speedster. Not only is he going to hopefully help the secondary out and get some interceptions for us and knock down some balls, but in the return game, man, he was looking strong Saturday night, just fast as lightning, man, which is something they hadn't had since probably Pac-Man Jones, and hopefully he'll be Pac-Man without all the dumbass baggage that come with and he seemed like a good kid. So I'm just excited. Of course, maybe the top running back duo. I mean, you got DeMarco Murray. People thought his career was over after leaving Dallas to go to Philadelphia. Had a bad season. Came here, 1,200 yards. Last year, whatever it was, I think it was 1,200 yards. Then you got the big Derrick Henry. Just a big old boy. He's just killing it because Murray's been resting up with a hamstring injury. So Derrick Henry just out there 6'4", 250 pounds. Oof. Just
big unit.
And quick, too. I mean, quick for a big guy.
Really?
So, man, it's just like, and the hype train is all about the Titans, man. You got Peter King saying they're the third, fourth best roster in the NFL. You got USA Today picking them 12-4 to win the division. I mean, man, things have changed.
I'd heard 12 this week, and I didn't know what the legitimacy of that was.
Well, they were 9-7 last year, and you went and improved your roster. But on paper, the Colts got better. They added Malik Hooker and Quincy Wilson. Their offensive line still not improved. You got Luck, not sure whether he's going to be healthy. The Texans, last year everybody said they're a quarterback away from maybe knocking off the Patriots. Their defense is so good, but questions there still about their.
Some people are picking the Patriots to go
19-0.
Yeah, 19-0.
Run the whole damn table.
Yeah,
they could, man. I mean, Super Bowl champions, and they added New Orleans' best receiver, Brandon Cooks. They traded for Indianapolis' tight end, Dwayne Allen. Got Buffalo's top cornerback, Stephen Gilmore. I mean, rich got richer. Why the hell do people even trade with these guys at this point? Why would you trade?
Right.
I mean, why would you
load them up?
Trade to anybody but the Patriots?
I would say it seems like there's been some bad decisions made. Are people trying to open up salary cap or something right now?
Well, I mean, Gilmore from Buffalo was he was a free agent, so he went there on his own. But the other guy, I don't know what Indianapolis, and especially if you're Indianapolis and you had the Deflategate drama with the Patriots, why would you trade them?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it was just a tight end, but backup tight end. But man, New England or New Orleans, I don't know what they were doing. They got some good draft picks or whatever. But
tell me this: is Jacksonville going to win a game this time?
Yeah, I mean they win the offseason every year.
Are they going to beat Tennessee this time?
They beat them every year, man. One time at least. I don't care if we're 15-0 playing them the last game of the year. They're going to beat us. We split with Jacksonville every year. It don't matter how good they are, how bad we are, vice versa. We split. I mean, all we had to do is beat them last year on Christmas Eve. We go out and lay an egg, and their quarterback breaks his leg.
So, what's your prediction? What are you going with? What are we going to do? You going to say 12-4 or what?
I don't know, man. I was kind of like to pump the brakes on that until I see.
Thinking 9-7.
I'm gonna say at least 10. I'm gonna say 11-5.
11-5.
I'm gonna say 11-5.
You heard it here first, folks. 11-5.
Win the division. I'll be in there in the playoffs. I was at the last playoff game in 2008.
Yeah.
And what happened after that? That's a story. Whew. Talk about a fun night in Nashville after that, because it really sucked for a while.
Yeah.
Losing, and everybody was down and out, and
then Nashville got a hold of them, and everybody's spirits come back up.
There was 3 of us. One got lost. The other 2 of us had to stick together. Well, that's a great story. Great story that I can't tell on here.
Right.
Not without. I could tell it, but I couldn't tell names.
All right.
Or talk like them. Very, very distinct 2 voices that went with that story.
All right.
So, I mean, there was people getting massages by little Asian girls up in the club level at the Titans game during the playoff game. There was people giving free beer away during the playoff game. There was people slept in cars, puked in bushes, got knocked in the eye with a beer bottle at Legends Corner, got a black eye, got sympathy love off of it, and that was just all before 11 o'clock. Seemed like that was a wild night.
That was a wild story.
Waffles at the Holiday Inn. I miss being young and dumb. And I didn't do any of that.
Wasn't any of that yours?
No, it wasn't, actually. That was all the company I kept. And I'd do it again.
Do it one.
Not at my age, I wouldn't.
Right.
But,
You go back and do it again.
yeah, 10 years ago,
Yeah.
it still hurt a little bit, but boy, that was a good time. Maybe if we can get somebody to sign a waiver on our uncensored podcast, we're going to do one of these days.
Yeah, and then we'll get them to sign that waiver, and then we'll just air this all out.
Yeah, we're going to put it all out there. We'll put all your business out there. Have you ever been friends with me? We're going to put your business out there in the streets.
Yeah. Well, man, I believe that's a good show.
You believe
We're
it
out.
was? Are you confident about it?
I am truly confident in it.
I'm going to go home and wear my pillow out.
Just
sleep
slobber
hard.
all over it.
See, this is all so overrated. These shows have been so good here lately. And tonight was a good show. It was absolutely. I felt good about having Bernard.
Oh, yeah.
But this getting up at 4 a.m. because I live out in BFE and have to drive to Culver to work out.
Yeah.
Eating salads. Obviously put a damper on my game tonight.
I got an idea for you.
What?
Don't get up at 4 o'clock next Wednesday.
What am I going to do?
You're going to get up normal time, go to work, and then come in here fresh and rested.
And we're going to work out in here.
Well, no, we're going to do a podcast.
But then we're going to work out.
No, then you're going to go home, and I'm going upstairs and put my baby to sleep.
Huh.
Because I've been hearing him screaming for the last little bit here.
He's pissed.
He's not happy.
Everybody in my house is out like a light. They've already got the confirmation everybody's in bed.
Oh, yeah?
So I was hoping we'd just do like 3 podcasts tonight.
Nah, we're
done.
We're done.
Well, all right then. Good call on that.
Yeah.
So thanks again to Bernard Pollard. Always a fantastic interview. And thanks to all of our listeners, whether you've been with us since day one or new people that we're picking up all over the United States, is going to put us over the 20,000 download mark. And also, Lucas, thank you. Thank you for being a solid podcast partner this week.
Hey, thank you too. And I just want to ask you one thing. Next week, come in a little sharper.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks, everybody.